Hello, everybody. Yes, welcome back to the Couples Money Revelation podcast. And if you're watching on video right now, it's not my normal background, guys, and it is my lazy approach a little bit. I don't have my normal live background with the fake bookshelf and all that other pretty stuff and like that. This is the lazy Zoom background. We had a massive fourth birthday party on Saturday for my daughter, and it's her birthday today. So over in that section, as I'm looking across my basement where I normally record these, is a few more of her gifts and stuff like that. And we'll get back on track on the next episode to have a pretty background. But for now, we're going to just go with it. And today we're really going to be talking about a few things that are just common. It just keeps coming up, I feel like, when it comes to negative behavior around money and really how relating it back to how much of us are still struggling today. So, you guys, there's two different money personalities in a relationship. I talked a little bit about this if you follow my posts and stuff in the last week or two. There's like the chasing attitude, right? And then there's the avoider. I mean, I think you can figure out what the two are, but just in case you don't, the chasing, you're constantly feeling behind in your money game. It's kind of like you're working hard, whether it's working overtime, working your brains out, and you still feel like you're always chasing money, right? And you never keep up with bills and debts and savings and kids' expenses and everything else, right? When you avoid, it's pretty self-explanatory, I think, right? I'm avoiding the scenario. You avoid the conversation. You don't want to talk about it. You avoid looking at your numbers. You keep telling yourself and your partner that, you know what? Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Usually when you can't even guarantee that, you really can't. But it's more than that in avoiding when it comes to just money as well, right? I mean, we avoid in a lot of scenarios. Maybe our marriage isn't going well. Uh, maybe it's not going well at home with our kids, our family. Maybe the job isn't going well. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's a pretty common thing, right? So the beauty of working with couples is that when I work with them, we dig into the entire picture, right? And we discuss the mindsets, all while bringing them together to realize that the end goals are all in the same frame. You guys may have heard me say that. Clients have heard me say it. You guys were in the same picture here. We need to bring everything back into the same picture. Think about your relationship right now. If you're listening and you're in a relationship, I think we can relate to this a little bit. And like I said, maybe it's not just related to money. Um, maybe you're struggling with your parents, maybe they're elderly and maybe you're being scared that your job isn't going well and something's going to happen. I mean, there's so many things that this can relate to. All of them can relate back to the chasing and avoiding concept. Americans, we have this weird knack, you guys. It's a weird thing. Just we don't want to talk to anybody about anything anymore. It's very bizarre. I don't know where I can tie it back to. And, me and Austin, who is another financial coach, I'm in Missouri. We were talking on his podcast. It's coming out. That's a second bump for Austin's podcast episode coming out. It's coming out in a month and a half. And, we were just talking about it's just weird and that we don't know when it happened. And we're thinking it's like right before COVID or when COVID hit because everything changed in terms of like, oh, you only stick with your family. You got to wear a mask. You got to stay indoors. If you get sick, you can't come out for 5 to 10 days, like into the office and you got to jam things up your nose. And then kids were in school and then they weren't in school and then they were working from home. And it's like our social aspect in this country completely changed. And I think we got just so inept and so used to being like a year straight on and off, a year and a half, we'll call it on and off of being in our house and being around only our family, which is good. It brought a lot of families closer, but then everyone forgot about everything else, I feel like. And all of a sudden, no, I don't want to talk to people. I don't know. I mean, what if you have COVID? You're coughing. let's not make this political. I'm not sorry. I got off track, but we're scared to talk to people about these scenarios. You know, when you're in deep with money or your relationship, which it relates all back, right? I mean, divorce, number one reason is because of money, right? So if you're struggling with your money and your budget, and you're probably struggling with your relationship to an extent, it's scary to talk about that, you guys. Not a lot of people want to be like, hey, I want to open up to this coach or open up to this therapist or open this up to this. But guys, I have friends and I've talked to a few therapists recently that are quite busy all of a sudden. They've always been pretty busy, but they got slammed in the last couple months. A couple of them I'm talking to, which is good, meaning people are starting to open up a bit. That's a good thing and admit they need some help. But overall, how many times have you heard, oh, well, we need more mental health, workers in this world? Definitely need more people, social workers, and that. We just need so many more. And that usually, honestly, I think is relates to like middle school and high school kids, um, that go through a lot and a lot of trauma and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, but they need to have work, guys, and they need people booking them consistently. So when we sit there and say, well, we need a lot more mental health help. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of signage the last 10 or 15 years. Mental health has become a better thing in terms of people, admitting they need help, and there's people here to help them. But overall, there's still people not willing to go out and talk to people. It's another topic, but I think we really need stronger therapists, like I said, mostly in high schools, college, middle schools, because I think that's where we can hit them young and really even before their, if you want to relate it to money, before their money journey too, right? And get them understanding how to control these things. It's hard to admit you have some kind of issue. It really is. It's hard to admit that, you're not okay. I was talking to a client the other day, or not a client, a couple the other day. It wasn't a client. And my wife and I were both in the same area. We were talking and he said, hey guys, how have you been? How have you been? Their answer, you guys? Yeah, just working our brains off, working overtime. It's like work, work, work. We work consistently to keep up with the times. Oh my God, shit, dude. I'm sorry. This world is so tough, right? We work our brains off just to stay up with inflation. Most of us can't even keep up still. There's normal bills, there's debts, there's whammies, car troubles, retirement, savings. Damn, we go through a lot, guys. It's stressful, man. We need all the help we can get. And when we don't get help, then a few things happen, right? And I kind of related back this a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I talked about this in my newsletter last week. Maybe you guys should subscribe, right? I can drop that in the comments on YouTube and everything else. The first one is I feel like giving up. We've already talked about it, right? A lot lately. Bad things don't stop happening. It's always, I'm running out of ideas. I don't know what to do. It's always happening to me. These are actual quotes that I've heard over the last couple months, you guys. Let's break them down. We give up. This feels easy, right? I'll just give up. I tried, didn't work, give up. But what does that phrase actually mean to you guys? I want you to think about it. Would giving up mean you just lay in bed and mope, not want to do anything? Maybe potentially not keep looking for a new job. If that's what you are, you lose your job. Yeah, I give up. I've applied 50 different times. I give up. There's no hope coming. Guys, there's hope coming. There's hope coming. You cannot give up. Guys, I'm looking at the camera right here. You can hear me on audio if you're listening on audio. There are people in this world that don't have half as much as you look forward to every day. Bless your health, bless your home, your apartment, your family, your friends. You got a lot of great stuff. Fresh water. A lot of people don't have that in the world. Just think of the positives. All right, next one, right? Bad things never stop. They never stop happening to me. Every week I got something going on. How many times have you probably heard that, right? From somebody, right? It's the complainer, right? Guys, bad things in life happen to all of us, okay? It's natural. But believe in what I call good karma. Me and my son talk about it all the time. My wife, good karma, bad karma. Karma is not just a bad thing. There's good karma. the more positive I am in life, even when I'm down and negative, and I get negative too, guys, the more I notice good things start happening. Okay? Give it a try. Get rid of the negative mindset. And I promise you guys, you're going to start to notice a big difference. And last but not least, I'm out of ideas, right? I'm so out of ideas. Everything's gone wrong. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do to make more money. I have no idea how I'm going to dig out of my hole. This is relating to mostly like how to get more income and manage your bills and expenses, right? Let's be real. I'll say this. Every single person I talk to and work with is completely different. I emphasize that, guys, in my coaching all the time. There's no one way to do this or to do that. So, in saying this, if you feel like you're stuck or you're uncertain how to do this or that, then I encourage you to let your pride down and reach out for help. Doesn't have to be me. Might be a different category, therapist, whatever it is. There's so many professionals, you guys, right there waiting to guide you. They really just need you to send an invite into their world. Guys, until next time, I'm your couples money coach, Brian, and thank you for tuning in to the Couples Money Revelation podcast. As always, stay blessed and positive.